on worksheet 7, omit number 10. So you'll see what it is if you look at it. It's another one of those inequalities, which would mean draw a number line and test the values and all that stuff, but nah, we're not doing those. So skip number 10. Omit number 10, omit number 10, omit number 10. And then what I want you to try is try number 1, and then we'll work that one together and make sure we're on the right track. So try number 1 is to cancel them out. Like that's y multiplied by e to the x to make it go away. And then I don't have a fraction anymore.
But how can you just subtract e to the x by multiplying?
So then I want all my x's on one side, so I'll subtract this one over. Right? This is just like y plus 1 equals 2y. Well, let's get all our y's together. So
How do you do this with that?
So I got. Okay, so what do I do now? How do I get that x out of the exponent?
Pulling it down with a natural log.
I have to natural log both
Then you
sides.
get a natural log with it.
So natural log of 1 equals x, or x ln e, but the natural log of e is 1. And then the natural log of 1
Zero.
is 0. Or, you know what, if I'd have really been paying attention, I might could have grabbed that right here. E to the what equals 1. Well, that's got to be 0.
Except that would make, wait, e to the 0 would be 1, right?
Right.
So then it would be, okay.
I mean, or you could actually just plug in 0 times in the original equation.
And then, yes, I could check my original work. I could just go back into the original and plug in 0 and get e to the 0 plus 1 over e to the 0. 1 plus 1 is 2 over 1 is 2. So yes, 0 works. So yeah, that's on algebra problems with equations and multiple choice. You're right. That's an option. You take your answers and plug them in and see who works. 0 works, so you're automatically looking at A and D. Then you'd have to check natural log 2 to see if it worked. I don't know. Is that quicker than solving it the real way? Maybe. Ty?
Can you explain the part you wrote under C?
Right in here?
Yeah.
So from here, to get the x out of the exponent, I natural log both sides. Because when I do that, that allows me to take the x out of the exponent and move it down front. And then the extra bonus is the natural log of e is 1, so that part goes away. A lot of algebra going on on number 1.
If x equals natural log 1, why is x 0?
Because the natural log of 1 is 0. The log base anything of 1 is 0. Because if you do the fishhook thing, anything to the 0 equals 1. So it kind of doesn't matter what the base is. The log of 1 is 0. And the natural log of 1 is 0. And like Will said, if you absolutely got stuck, then you back up and take it from the other end and start plugging in answers and see who works. All right, we're going to do number 2 together. So you should know what to do first on number 2, because it's the left side is really similar to number 1. So let's multiply both sides by e to the x. So on the left side, that's why we multiplied. It cancels. On the right side, e to the x times e to the x. You can write it as e to the x squared, but that's the same thing as e to the 2x.
Now would it be 3e to or 2e to the 3x?
Okay, so you're wanting to get all of the x stuff on one side.
Or do you not do that at all? Just that?
You do want to get everything. In fact, I say let's get everything on one side. So 2e to the 2x plus e to the x minus 1.
That's the equation.
Because you can't add these two terms. Like you guys are trying. Like how do I add those? Well, it's like trying to add x squared and x. You can't. You're just stuck with both of them. That's as good as it gets. All right. The next step is while we're working this problem. What's that?
Factoring?
We were going to factor it. And it might have been helpful to even remember this. E to the 2x is e to the x times e to the x. So if I factor it like that, 2e to the x times e to the x will get me 2e to the 2x.
And then is it minus 1 and plus 1?
Yeah.
And then the o and the I are going to hopefully combine to give me e to the x.
Couldn't you just put the 2 on the outside, or it has to be on the inside?
It'd have to be on the inside because 2 on the outside would only be if there was a 2 on everybody. It's got to be 1 and 1. That's the only way this is going to work.
And then
Minus on the front
the
one.
second one, we just e to the x needs to be positive. And then
Right, I need e to the x to be positive, so I need plus 2 of them
minus.
and minus 1 of them.
2e to
So factoring with e to the x. What do I do next? The next step is a factoring step that you've done a bunch, but you usually skip this step. Right, set them both equal to 0. And the trouble is, you usually skip this step in other problems because you can get to the next step without showing it. But for this one, it's probably helpful to show it. So now I have 2 equations to solve. So I'm
Do you have to
starting to think it'll be one of the ones with 2 answers, but we'll see.
Wait, the-
or natural log?
I will log both sides, but not yet.
the one
Yeah,
with the
you have to
e,
move it
the
to
one
the
with the
left.
negative or the positive one, the one on the right is kind of like the 1, so you could just take it and just put a 1.
So let's divide by 2. Then we'll natural log both sides. Because that allows the x to come down front. So there's one of my answers. So C, D, or E. What do I need to do next for this equation?
Pull the x forward and pull the log.
Natural log both sides. So x equals natural log of -1. Why don't I see natural log of -1 as an answer anywhere?
It's just a positive 1.
I can't take the log of a negative number, so this doesn't really work. So it's only the natural log of 1/2.
How do you check a natural log? So you got natural log 1/2 as the answer, but how would you plug that in to check it?
To plug it into the original to check?
Yeah.
You could. 1 minus e to the natural log of 1/2 over e to the natural log of 1/2. So this would be if we really wanted to check it. E and natural log cancel each other out. So that's 1 minus 1/2 over 1/2. So that would be 1/2 over 1/2 is 1. And then if you check the other side, 2e to the natural log of 1/2. Again, e and natural log cancel each other out. 2 times 1/2 is 1. And so, yeah, those work. Not really expecting you to check it, but on a weird one like that, especially if you finish the test and you got a few minutes extra to make sure that you do well, then yeah, you could check it, and it worked out. Will? Yeah. All right, that problem is really similar to number 8. Number 8's a little more straightforward, and the factoring's easier. So flip to number 8. Find the x-intercepts. How do we find x-intercepts? Set y equal to 0. So that's just a sneaky way to get you to solve an equation. So,
Okay, so we'll just go straight to the factory.
so you go straight to the factoring. Pretty much. Set it equal to 0 and then factor. So you try that one, and then we'll check and see where we are. All right, so answer choice A says natural log 7 and natural log -1. So why is it not A when I clearly just did all the work and got...
Is there a -1 there? Can't do that.
I can't take the log of a negative number. So I should be able to tell from the very beginning that it can't be A, because I can't do the natural log of -1. So it's B. Some people would pick up on that right here, e to the x equals -1. Like there's no way to raise e to anything and get a negative number. That exponents don't ever work that way. So some people would see it right here and be like, wait a minute, that's not going to work. Most people are just going to sort of work the process, get to here and be like, wait a minute, that they can't do that. But I liked it that it was still an answer choice there. That's cruel. Like do all the algebra right and then get the wrong answer because you forgot you can't take the log of a negative number. Again, omit number 10. Some of you guys are jumping around and working other ones. Is there anything you'd like to see?
11.
Number 11. Let's see. If natural log of x equals e, then x equals... well, if we fishhook that,
E to the x.
fishhook, start at the base.
E to the
So the invisible e down there.
E to the x.
No, start at the invisible base. Fishhook to the other side. E to the e equals x. So kind of a weird problem, but if you know how to fishhook, not a hard problem. E to the e. Goofy one. Haven? Number 7. Okay, I'm glad you asked number 7. It's another one of those condensed ones.
There's on number 4, E is supposed to be no solution.
We'll get back to that in a minute. Remind me that when I finish number 7 here. So I want to condense all of those. Anything positive is going to go in the top. Anything negative is going to end up in the bottom. That's just the easy way to do it. Because negative is similar to division, addition is similar to multiplication.
So if two things go in the bottom, they're multiplied?
Correct. Like, if you really want to see how that works, you could factor out the negative like that. And so you would be multiplying 2 and x, but the negative would put them in the bottom. So there's sort of the long way around, or justification for why they go in the bottom. Okay, I think I'm ready to fishhook this thing. So e to the 5th equals 3 over 2x. Okay, from here it's algebra 1 stuff. It's ugly numbers, stuff's in denominators, e to the 5th, but the skills are algebra 1. So
Just hit yours.
I would multiply both sides by 2x. Some people would say cross multiply. A few people would say flip both sides. All of those are legitimate. I think I would just multiply both sides by 2x. That's sort of what we've been doing. If you want to clear a denominator, multiply by it, and then it's gone. And then I want to get x by itself, so I need to divide by everybody that's not x. So x equals 3 over 2e to the 5th. And let's see if that's an answer choice. 3 over 2e to the 5th is D. And then there was a concern on which one? 4?
Yeah.
E is supposed to be no solution?
Yes.
Or not there? Or let's see what happens on number 4. Natural log x minus 3 over x equals natural log of 4. Oh, this is the kind that we like, because I can just cancel the logs. X minus 3 over x equals 4. I don't have to do any fish hooking. Right? If the natural log of something equals the natural log of something, then the two somethings have to be equal to each other. So x minus 3 equals 4x. So negative 3 equals, subtract the x, 3x. X equals negative 1, which looks like is a great answer for E, but we have to check our answers when we do these log problems, and we can't log a negative number. So I can't use negative 1. That doesn't work. So yeah, we're going to say it's answer choice E, not because it's negative 1, because we're going to change E to no solution. So omit 10 and fix number 4.
On 7, can you just explain?
The condensing down to 1, that's that excuse me, the property that the natural log of 3 plus the natural log of x is the natural log of 3x, and the natural log of 7 minus the natural log of y is the natural log of 7 over y. And so kind of the shortcut to all that is, if it's positive, it ends up in the numerator. If it's negative, it ends up in the denominator. All right, so your job is to finish the rest of it, hopefully before you leave.